This video by Samuel Mutahi delivers a bold, unfiltered message about awakening, self-liberation, and outsmarting the modern manipulators disguised as community, church elders, and helpers. This isn't just a speech, it's a metamorphosis, a refusal to bow to psychological traps, empty promises, and the hypocrisy disguised as kindness. For anyone who has ever been exploited, undervalued, or mentally caged by religious guilt, community manipulation, or false friendships, this message will hit home. You will learn how manipulators use help as a weapon, how communities keep people drunk, distracted, and dependent, how to recognize psychological slavery in modern society, how to undergo your own metamorphosis and reclaim your independence, how to outsmart emotional traps with calm, cold strategy. This is The Awakening. Chapter 1: The Awakening. There comes a moment in every man's life when the world stops pretending, and you finally see people for who they really are. Not the masks, not the titles, not the fake respect they parade around with. You see their intentions, their manipulation, their hypocrisy. And that's when the metamorphosis begins. I reached that point not because I wanted to, but because life forced me to open my eyes. Chapter 2: The Manipulators Disguised as Elders. Let's talk about the so-called church elders, the Christians who parade around with holy titles and sacred language, yet behind the scenes they behave like con men, dressed in church clothes. They preach compassion, but practice exploitation. They offer help, but deliver slavery. They pretend to guide, but instead they drain your time, your energy, your youth, and your spirit. I used to think their words meant something, but then reality exposed them. Chapter 3: The Modern-Day Slavery. When my friend and I worked for a certain contractor, a man respected in the church, we experienced the real definition of modern slavery, working in cold, mud, darkness, and basically harsh environments, yet very little pay, very little dignity, and absolutely no humanity. Imagine that, a church elder, using young men as labor tools while feeding them religious promises. Hope became the bait, religion became the leash, ignorance became the prison. That's when I realized some of these elders don't save souls, they harvest them. Chapter 4: The Hypocrisy of the Kenyan Community Abroad. Then there's the Kenyan community, a term that should represent unity, growth, and brotherhood. But the truth, it has been hijacked by hypocrites. Instead of community, it became a marketplace of fear. Instead of support, it became a platform of misguided information. Instead of vision, it became a gossip chamber and emotional trap. They don't uplift you, they confuse you. They keep you in darkness because an enlightened young man is too hard to control. Chapter 5: The Alcohol Trap and Fake Opportunities. In every so-called community gathering, there is always alcohol, not by accident, not by coincidence. It's a trap since a drunk mind can't think strategically. A drunk mind can't challenge stupidity. A drunk mind can't recognize manipulation. So conversations become empty, promises become lies, dreams dissolve into drunken fantasies. How many times did I hear, "Young man, I'll connect you to opportunities," or "I know someone who works there, I'll talk to them," only to realize the person speaking is fully boozed up, saying things they don't even remember the next day. And the innocent me believed them. Every single time. Until I realized the truth. You cannot take advice from people who can't control themselves. And even worse, I look at how much time those gatherings wasted, and I still cannot believe there are young men still showing up, walking right into the same trap. every weekend. Chapter 6. The Breaking Point. There comes a point when your spirit gets tired, when your mind rejects nonsense, when your soul refuses to bow down to mediocrity. 1 year ago, I reached that point. The lies, the exploitation, the manipulation, the false promises, the fake brotherhood, the hypocritical church leaders, the selfish community, all of it reached a boiling point. And that's when I said, no more. No more being used. No more obligations. No more guilt traps. No more pleasing people who only drain you. That was the moment my metamorphosis began. Chapter 7. The Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you were always meant to be before the world tried to break you. I have become more refined, more strategic, more selective with my time, more aware of people's intentions, more confident in my boundaries. I stopped negotiating my worth. I stopped entertaining manipulation. I stopped being predictable. Chapter 8. Mastery. Outsmarting manipulators. Today, I do not fight manipulators. I outsmart them. I do not argue with hypocrites. I expose them with silence. I do not chase fake communities. I build my own path. I do not feed modern slave masters. I walk away and grow silently. Because power is not in shouting. It is in understanding. It is in seeing through masks. It is in refusing to be deceived again. And now, I move like a man who understands the game. A man who has risen above it. A man who cannot be controlled, guilt-tripped, manipulated, or enslaved. My final words to every young person listening. Wake up. Look closely at your surroundings. Decide who you truly want to become. And don't be afraid to walk away from systems designed to drain you. The metamorphosis will begin the day you will stop waiting for people to save you and decide to save yourself.